Guys, we're here with Dan Parker, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization owner. He has a first place deck profile here. What are you playing today?
Crystal Beast, Azamina, Exodia, Snake Eye.
A
Nemesis?
pile.
Yeah. 60 cards that don't care about the mulch armies.
Fair enough, fair enough. Do you think that's like one of the most important cards right now to play when you're building your deck?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like there is just so many hand traps in the game, especially they just printed 2 brand new ones, that being able to play effectively through as many of them as possible has been the name of the game for years. And now the key to doing that is to go to the back row and then to the front row, because things
Not
like
summoning from the deck.
Yeah, something like Sapphire Pegasus, just placing from the deck, you can't ash that. And then like Divine Temple, bringing cards up from the back row, neither Mulch Army draws from that kind of thing.
Fair enough. Any changes you want to make? Like, I'm assuming this is 60 cards.
Yeah, it's a 60 card deck. Most of the changes are like, I don't love the Fiendsmith package. It takes up too much extra deck space now with the 2 new fusions. I would probably swap out like the Engraver for the Corridor and just put in the Colossus and gain 3 extra deck spaces.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, before we dive in, over to like, comment, subscribe, and well, let's show us the stuff.
Alrighty, so first we have 3 Pegasus. This is just like a 1-card normal summon 8,000. As I said earlier, it places a Crystal Beast from the deck into the back row, and that just plays through every hand trap except for like Veiler, and if they Veiler this, then
you're winning.
Yeah, you're getting away with murder. The card that you're typically placing, the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon.
This card's nuts.
This is the card that shouldn't exist. A few years back, they just made like 1 card for each anime. This was the GX one. This just banishes itself from the back row to special summon a Crystal Beast monster from the deck, turning Pegasus into a tour guide for rank 4s. Pretty good rank 4 in the game right now, but also the fact that this banishes itself is part of like most of your combos. In order to resolve the special from deck, it has to add this multi-layered engine requirement. I believe we call them garnets. You have to have this in your hand to resolve one of the spells as well, so it just kind of works out in an annoying way.
And at least it's shiny.
Yeah, there's also like Dia Bellstar. Like, it just pays like a bunch of costs. You have to play 1 bad Crystal Beast. I've seen a lot of people try the Eagle, but because it's also wind, the way Pegasus is, you need 3 different attributes, so you play the Earth one.
Okay.
That's this whole existing reason is Earth, non-wind, level 4 Crystal Beast is the only thing this slot has to be.
Makes sense.
And then the last Crystal Beast is Soul Charge. This card, when it's special summoned, doesn't care how, just brings up the whole back row.
Not just Crystal Beast or just the whole back row?
I believe it's just Crystal Beast.
Okay,
I've never used it on a non-Crystal Beast, but I honestly don't know. There's like a spell that special summons this card and places 2 from deck into the back row that it also brings up.
That's insane.
But like, you can special this from your hand with a bunch of different effects, and it just always works no matter how you special it. Snake Eye package. I feel like this has been over-explained, so I'm just gonna... There are 5 Snake Eye 1-ofs in this deck. There was before the list, there is after the list. Shout out to Konami for making everyone else's deck worse for me. And one of her, this is one of those things, like I said, I would probably try and find some room in the deck and get this up to maybe 3. It got so much better after Rage of the Abyss because of that Deception card. And then the Engraver that's just in there to like play through Nib, but again, Deception plays through Nib now. The next package is just these. This is searchable by Banshee and Bonfire, and then this is searchable from this.
Wins the game.
Yep. I've got in the side deck that I no longer have on me, the other one, the Eschatos. Eschatos banishes 3 types, which the combo also gives you, and bans types instead of attributes, and also protects itself the same way this guy does. So instead of getting rid of darks for free, it gets rid of dragons for free.
Okay.
And where the primary matchup I'm worried about is Tenpai, I always try to call fire with this, and sometimes you can't, but you can always call dragon. And then similarly, the card that you summon next to it is Nightmare Phoenix anyway. So this always can call dark or fire via Nightmare Phoenix, or it can call Dragon and Fiend via Nightmare Phoenix if it's on Eschatos instead.
Okay,
so you always have coverage for Snake Eye, Yubel, Tenpai. It doesn't really matter what you're up against.
We like that.
The last of the monsters is these 2. These are basically just 2 free bodies for half my life points via a field spell called Wedju Temple. This searches the temple, searches for him, or temple searches for him, searches for this, or he searches for this, searches for temple for a free card. But they just place in the back row, pay 2,000, they come up, and there's no hand trap in the game that stops that.
Fair enough. Nice 2 little bodies we can summon out for free.
Yeah, Perulia doesn't draw, Fulos doesn't draw. For the spells, of which there is a lot, we have 3 wanted because they don't hit secret rares in the TCG anymore. Not since Arise. I think Arise Heart and Lightning Storm are the only secret rares in the last 4 years to ever go to the list, and Lightning Storm's at 2 still.
That's crazy.
3 of this stupid card and 1 of this. For the people new to these cards, this card tributes a monster to search your deck for this card, and then this tributes Sinful Spoil spells to summon level 6 fusions. So you play this, tribute any monster, get this card, play this, tributes that, summons the fusions.
And resets during the end phase.
Yeah. But the fusion you get is this one, which searches for a Sinful Spoil spell on summon, and you grab Wanted. Then this card can shuffle from the field or graveyard an Azamina monster back into the extra deck to add itself back to hand, and it's not once per turn, so you can then activate it and chain Wanted, and then Wanted will get you the Diabell Star, and then this will tribute the Wanted and summon the Wolf Girl instead of the Batgirl, and this one negates Nibiru, etc. This one just has a negate on it, like you don't need the Fiendsmith engine so much anymore. And so you get 3 of this to start it, and 3 Diabell Star can set this from the deck, and it will still get you through Wanted and everything else for free. And Diabell Star is even a monster for this to tribute. And when you do that, if you activate Diabell Star to get this, activate it, tribute Diabell Star to get this card, use this, tribute it, get the Batgirl, add this back to hand, and then you're going to want to summon this, but you no longer have that Wanted play. When Batgirl searches, instead of searching for Wanted, it searches for Original Sin. And then you tribute the Original Sin from hand with this, and banish Original Sin from your graveyard to shuffle back the Diabell Star and just search for the Ash anyway you haven't normal summoned.
That's crazy. We love this engine.
Very, 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 very degenerate stuff. And it's only going to get better in the future. 3 Bonfire, searches for Flag, searches for Poplar. Can't believe this card survived the list at 3. The Temple, this is my favorite search target in the deck. It gets you to the 2 Millennium guys. It turns on your Crystal Beasts. It just places a monster from hand into the back row to get the Zeng engine. And as I've shown you like a bunch already, like the Deception can like tribute the monster. Like it's Diabell Star sends it. There's so much that this does, but it primarily best synergizes with this guy. The Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, when it banishes, searches for a Crystal Beast monster in a field spell. You activate this and put this guy in the back row to get your 2 searches, and then banish this from the back row for your free body, which turns the most powerful starter in the deck into that card. 3 Soul Charge from the deck. This is treated as a crystal card. That's the secret spice on that. It just places 2 Crystal Beasts with different names, so you have to have the Topaz Tiger, and let's say like this guy or another Pegasus, or this guy and a Pegasus, it doesn't matter. And special summons from your hand or graveyard a Crystal Beast monster. So you special summon the Ruby Carbuncle, which then brings up the 2 guys.
Okay.
And if you if you just have Carbuncle in hand for any number of reasons, the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation searches for it, God forbid. You can like send it to the graveyard for Diabell Star, and then activate this to bring it back, and that will place Pegasus and Tiger, which will summon, and then Pegasus on someone will place this, which will banish and get another Pegasus, and you just get 4 bodies without for nothing. You just
Diabell Star plus a brick.
Activate spell, search for 4. So this card here, which says place the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon in the back row to add Carbuncle to your hand. This is degenerate. This is the only once per turn Crystal Beast card for a very good reason. This, which says reveal the Rainbow Dragon in your hand that you search for every time you use Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, to search your deck for a Rainbow Bridge card.
Oh my god.
And Rainbow Bridge, which says search your deck for a Crystal card, including that one. So these search for each other, but this also searches for the other 2 Rainbow Bridge cards, which are Salvation and Heart. Rainbow Bridge of the Heart is the undisputed best card in the deck. This thing shouldn't exist. It is a starter, it is an extender, and it is interrupt, all in one card. I did not know it was searchable until I reread this thing. This gives you an extra normal summon of a Crystal Beast, It's Fire King Island. Pop a Crystal Beast. Search for a crystal card.
Oh my god.
And it says if you place a Crystal Beast into your back row, you can bounce a card. So if you...
What? Is that during any player's turn
yes.
too? Okay.
So if you have like Sapphire Pegasus in the back row, you place it with like Flameburge, God forbid. And then on their turn, it gets pulled up by Flameburge, Divine Temple, Snake Eye, etc. The Pegasus will place from the deck, and this will trigger and bounce their guy.
Okay, we like that. That's very nice.
We also have these two. This, I want to play 3 of this and 1 of this, but 1 and 1 is the minimum acceptable here. These are the most slept on engine in the game. This is Called by the Grave for back row. This activates this to the opponent's side of the field, or this activates this to the opponent's side of the field, and then you can use both effects the way field spells were originally intended to be used.
Okay,
first,
I've never even read any of these.
So ignoring all of the text on them, just the simple act of playing this and giving them that means no imperm, no lightning storm, no evenly matched, etc. It's just the things Called by isn't going to protect you from, you just got protected from. And then you can still sell this to Droplet, DFL Star, or whatever. They both say if both field spells are occupied blank, this one shoves monsters and this one pulls monsters. So this one says if you have a monster across from an opponent's monster, push their monster into the back row, and if they happen to have a card already there, it gets destroyed.
What?
This one pulls guys up from the back row, so again, like Pegasus could place Tiger, and then this could just summon up the Tiger.
Okay.
Or Flameburge could place literally anyone, and this will just pull up literally anyone.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Even if you give it to your opponent, like you can use theirs to just like pull up your dudes. So it's an extender in this deck, which is cool, but you could just play a 3-in-1 engine in anything and just beat. Like I said, the cards that like Called by is not beating. Got my non-engine, nothing really too fancy here, and then the temple that was forgotten deep in my pile of cards. And lastly, that is card 60.
Azaroon.
Yeah,
we do play the trap.
Yeah, we like beating Tenpai. We like beating basically everyone. This is another card that again summons from the back row. The bunny, when he sees something summoned from the back row, is just MST, pops Sangan summoning, all kinds of good stuff. This sends itself to the graveyard to negate an inherent summon. Tenpai monsters create an inherent summon at Chainlink 1, but this card can like miss timing. So they can Chainlink 1 Pydra, Chainlink 2 Chandra, and then Chandra will resolve and summon something, and then Chainlink 1 will make this miss timing.
Okay.
But the Synchro monsters also miss timing. Like Black Rose Dragon misses timing, Trident Dragon misses timing. So this like forces them to not be able to use things like Black Rose or Trident Dragon without just losing the card. And then if they run this over, it kills what killed it. So
yeah, it's quite nice that way. People afraid of that effect all the time.
It's just a hard counter to Tenpai. And it is summoned via this guy, sets it right from the deck. Again, as I've said, there's been a lot of like the Millennium Engine, this Crystal Beast stuff. There's the new Argo Stars deck coming out that this also just sets they're all continuous traps. But the name of the game seems to be like beat Ash Blossom by placing to the back row and beat Perulia by summoning from the back row. And like that's beating Droll, Ash, Perulia, Fluilos, Impulse, Purge. Like all of those cards are doing nothing to these kind of interactions. So I think that this is a good direction to try and take your decks in, and that this card is extraordinarily underrated for that reason. We already saw Batgirl and Wolfgirl. Again, this is just a search for a Sinful Spoils card, and this is just a negate. We have this engine, which again, like look at all the space just to say no to Nibiru when she's already doing that. So like this is going to be like Colossus, Ritual Beast, Ulti Raritari. I love Raritari. It's a generic Link 4 Ritual Beast monster that has the same effect as SP Little Knight, banish itself and something else off the board, but it also has a floodgate that says your opponent can't activate effects by tributing monsters, which on the surface is just simple things like enemy controller, but it also stops like Fiendsmith's Requiem from resolving, as well as Phantom of Yubel, so it's surprisingly relevant in the format. We have this because floodgates are annoying, and this because I need at least 2 Link 2 Fires because I run this annoying card for like a little engine. Again, with all that space, I would probably put a Zealantis in here. We obviously play this until they tell us we're not allowed. It's probably next on the list, to be honest.
IP needs to go, yeah.
This card, because this is the rank 4 you're trying to make, this says search your deck for a Pyro by detaching 2 materials. So you're like Pegasus, get Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, banish to get Tiger. Could overlay 2 for her. And then she detaches for Nemesis Flag, who puts a banished monster back, the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, to special itself.
Okay.
And then that will search for the Protos. And then you link this and the flag off to make the Nightmare Phoenix. And that will put an Earth, a Wind, and a Fire in your graveyard. There are obviously other more convoluted and ridiculous lines where this card, if banished and you control a Pyro, like any of your Snake Eye engine, will special summon itself, and now you just have a free Fire for Protos to use.
Okay.
But that's not as often coming up. And then lastly, my buddy here that's on the mat, the whole reason that you can play a deck with 60 cards so ridiculously. With Appaloosa banned, this guy's back on the menu. Just says draw 4, put back 3. That's going to put back the Rainbow Dragon so you can resolve a second Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon.
Okay.
That's going to put back like that drawn Poplar, whoops. That's going to put back a Crystal Beast for Crystal Bond to pull out of the deck. Like, you get away with so much because of this. And then it's got another effect that lets you special summon any monster from your hand for free, and that will trigger Ruby Carbuncle.
Okay.
This says, I've done the math on it. I did like a standard combo, like just starting with one Crystal Bond that goes into this guy and the Proto Search. And the deck is so thin at that point that drawing 4 cards from it had a better than 60% chance to draw into Rainbow Bridge even. It was like an 85% chance to get Golden Rule after making this.
That's
so like,
crazy.
You don't even play around Nib, you just go into this and
Go
say, like,
through Nib.
Nib me, I don't care. And then just make a board afterwards anyway because of all the advantage. Lastly, it also boosts everyone summoned to any of its zones by 300, and it's got an up arrow to boost their guy as well. So you do have to be mindful of that, but again, you're probably gonna link it off. But it has some cool, because it has this arrow and a mandatory effect. One of the other cards for the extra deck that I was on is Pit Knight Early. That says if a monster activates, it triggers, as long as it's co-linked and it's got that diagonal thing.
Yeah.
So when you use something like Divine Temple or Flamebridge or pull something up under him, he activates to boost by 300, will trigger early.
So you just negate the monster on field. Okay.
But this is also, because they've got the Shinra Bancho or Konigwissen on their side of the field, you know you're insulated from Lightning Storm anyway. So you could summon things like your Caesar in attack mode. You can like leave like a lot of your guys that are getting that 300 boost and just have like Caesar on like 31.
And then it's really hard for them to beat over it too.
Yeah.
I like that.
And like this makes like your bunnies like 18, and if you make bunny with IP, it's 18, can't die by battle, can't die by card effect.
Have fun.
Makes it stronger than all the Tenpai monsters. Like it's why I'm using this mat today.
Fair enough. I do like the deck quite a bit. You said you like mentioned some changes. Like anything else like you feel like the deck is lacking a bit, or?
Honestly, I wish I had more than 60 slots.
Fair.
Like I like everything that's in there, but I would kill to put in like a second Engraver and 2 more Black Witch and like just see that Topaz Tiger a little less.
Yeah.
But still see like all the ridiculous amount of power that's in there. It's unbelievable how much murder you get away with. I had one game, I'm not gonna be able to find it real quick, am I? I had one game with the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation areas, this guy. I had one game where I used the Awakening the Ultimate Crystal Beast to search for this and set it against a U-Bell player. Did you know that this card has another effect?
No.
That says if there are 2 or more level 10 monsters on the field, doesn't care who. So my nice guy who decided to put out a couple of UL monsters before he could Varadress, you flip this up, it's Fiber Jar. Every card in the hands and field goes back into the deck.
No way.
This goes to the graveyard, and then you banish it and search for Wedger Temple. Like, you draw 5, it's Fiber Jar.
Start the game.
Blanks their whole board, but then you get a free double search afterwards, because you use both effects.
Wow. Thomas must have had fun with that one. Anyways, congratulations on bringing first place. This deck is super sick. I haven't seen anything like it before. I like it a lot, and hopefully you do get in today's tournament.
Thank you.